I'm now here with Elyssia, who has one adult poetry. And could you tell us a little bit about what your poem's about and maybe the themes that are in it?
I suppose it's about living with depression. When you live with a mental health condition for so long, it almost becomes a part of your identity. And then when you get to the point where you're ready to sort of deal with that, you have to then sort of relearn who you are.
Of course.
And this is a metaphor of depression sort of building her house around me and then deciding that I can't live here anymore. So I've actually written part 2, and it's about moving out into something new and building your own house, which is quite cool.
Have you got somewhere that people could find part 2? Do you have your own kind of Instagram or still on your phone? You don't have like an Instagram where people can go and watch your poetry maybe?
No, I don't tend to share online. I have recently got a Substack, and I've been toying with the idea of sharing online, so maybe I should.
Yes. Okay. I think that would be, absolutely. If you send it to us, then we'll make sure that we send it out to our listeners, and maybe if they've listened to your poem tonight on the radio, they will then want to listen to more. So what inspired you to write this poem in particular?
It's hard to say where inspiration strikes with poetry. Sometimes someone will say something to you and you'll think, oh, that makes a good poem. But with this, it was going to therapy and sort of unpacking all of the things that I've become accustomed to living with for so long. And then thinking like, oh, I'm not actually this person anymore. Mm-hmm. And like I said before, when you live with something for so long, it becomes part of who you are. And I guess it was like, I'm on a new journey now. I'm building my own house now. So yeah, it was sort of inspired. My therapist was my inspiration.
We all get inspired by some things. Even the things that, we might think are more negative things in life can prove to be an artistic inspiration. So obviously you've already written poem part 2. Do you write poetry often, or did you just see this and think, oh, I'll give it a go?
No, I write poetry all the time.
Okay.
I've been writing poetry since I was probably about 14 years old, so quite a few years now. I'm currently doing a creative writing course at university, write all the time, not so much for pleasure anymore, but when I saw Rutland and Stamford Sound had this competition, I thought this is so amazing. There's so many fantastic writers evident from this evening. It's fab to be able to sort of share with everyone.
Are you part of the creative community here at all in Rutland and Stamford? We've already heard about Rhyme on the Rocks. Are you already part of that?
I am, yes. Proud to say I've been part of Rhymes on the Rocks since day one. Known Kia and Emmy for a long time, and Nikita, who was one of the judges as well. Yeah. They're all such lovely people, incredible poets. I would love to be part of more. I don't know how much there is in Rutland, but I'm sort of in between here and university, so I'm a busy lady at the minute. But maybe once uni's finished, I'll maybe start my own poetry night. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, one of the reasons we wanted to run this competition was to kind of highlight the creative community here in Rutland and Stamford. So it's great to hear that you're already part of it, but that maybe we could have a little bit more space in Rutland and Stamford for creative outlets such as poetry or other creative arts as well. How's this competition kind of helped you, or has it inspired you to write more, do you think, or is it just to continue what you're already doing?
I suppose it was a nudge. Doing this at university, when you have to do it, it sort of saps your passion for it.
Yes.
Like when you love cooking, if you become a chef, you don't want to cook when you get home. But it's definitely boosted my confidence. Never thought I would win, but here I am, adult poetry winner, and hearing some of, especially the younger categories, some of their writing was just fantastic. I think it just makes you want to be part of the creative community even more, things like this.
And how do you feel about hearing your work on the radio?
It's terrifying, but no, it's good. I'm always trying to put myself out there, and hearing your own voice on the radio, I was just talking to Kia. You've interviewed Kia before, she's fantastic, and Declan, he submits to BBC Sounds a lot, so I've heard them on the radio as well. I think it's important. If you feel like you have a voice and your voice is worth hearing, then get it out there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for entering, and thank you for coming and giving us a beautiful rendition of your poem. And I look forward to reading more from you.
Yeah, well, I'll submit part 2. Watch out for the Substack when it gets released.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angela.